Today we'll be talking about tobacco and nicotine, knowing the facts. Nicotine delivery systems come in many different forms in addition to cigarettes. These include cigarettes, vaping, and e-cigarettes, hookah, cigars, and smokeless tobacco. First, we'll talk about cigarettes. The tobacco in cigarettes contain nicotine. Nicotine is the active ingredient in all tobacco-related products. Symptoms of nicotine addiction can occur in just a few weeks after someone starts smoking. There are many adverse effects from smoking cigarettes. The short-term health effects include staining of teeth as well as gum disease, developing a chronic cough and an increase in phlegm production, shortness of breath due to lower oxygen levels, hearing and vision problems, headaches, and a faster resting heart rate. The long-term health effects are even more harmful. They include all of the short-term effects we discussed, as well as heart disease, chronic lung disease including emphysema and COPD, lung and other cancers, and stress on the overall biological systems. Another alternative tobacco product is called the electronic cigarette, E-Cig or e-cigarette. E-Cigs are one of the latest devices that the tobacco industry has introduced to the public. Electronic cigarettes do not contain tobacco, but they do use the nicotine from tobacco plants. As you already learned, nicotine is the addictive ingredient derived from tobacco. E-cigs do not produce cigarette smoke or vapor, but rather an aerosol that contains nicotine and a number of chemicals. They have a heating element that atomizes a liquid solution known as e-liquid or e-juice. E-liquids are usually a mixture of propylene glycol, glycerin, nicotine, and flavorings. Propylene glycol is used by chemical, food, and pharmaceutical industries. It is a solvent for food colors and flavors, and paint and plastics industries, and as an ingredient in antifreeze. Propylene glycol is also used to create artificial smoke and fog machines for firefighting training and in theatrical productions. Electronic cigarette users say that a reason they like the product is because they can choose the level of nicotine they wish to inhale. However, there have been several cases of mislabeling of the level of nicotine in a product. Therefore, they're not actually choosing, and in most cases do not know what they are even inhaling. E-cigs are still addictive because they contain the ingredient nicotine. So even if someone stops smoking cigarettes, they still may be addicted to nicotine contained in electronic cigarettes, which also is a toxic agent. Although there are numerous discussions and claims that seem to say e-cigs help people stop smoking, there is no scientific proof to support this claim. To cover up or mask the toxic agents found in electronic cigarettes, tobacco companies encourage and promote the use of fruity flavors, which are particularly attractive to youth and young adults. It is illegal to sell flavored cigarettes, however, there are no such restrictions on other tobacco products. Although you cannot smell or taste the bitter and harsh tobacco, the toxic agents can still harm your health and lead to breathing complications, particularly in your sinuses, throat, and lungs. Researchers at Harvard found that 39 of 51 e-cigarette brands contain diacetyl, an additive used for different flavorings. Diacetyl has been shown to cause popcorn lung, a serious and irreversible lung disease. Between 2012 and 2017, National Poison Data System data shows that more than 8,000 children were poisoned by the ingestion of e-liquids, also known as e-juice. Liquid nicotine exposure can result in heart attacks, seizures, coma, and respiratory arrest in children. Calls continue to come into poison control centers every month. As well as secondhand aerosol exposure from e-cigarettes is also dangerous for children and others due to the higher concentration of nicotine in the e-liquid. It is also being reported that pets are being poisoned by ingesting e-liquids. Joule is the latest device introduced in the e-cig category. It is colorful, sleek, and has a novel look and feel, often resembling a USB flash drive. The individual pods contain higher levels of nicotine than many other e-cigarette brands, posing additional health risks and concerns. However, it is not safer or different than any other e-cigarette nicotine delivery system. Its aerosolized mist contains nicotine and all the same chemicals as in other devices. Vaping and e-cigarettes carry the additional hazard of possible explosions. Almost 300 explosions have been reported from vape equipment, which produce loud noises, smoke, fire, and projectile vape parts. 68% of those result in injuries, many severe, and more than half the time surrounding objects catch fire as well. Newer lithium-ion batteries seem to explode more often. Reported injuries include first, second, and third-degree burns, broken teeth, eye injuries, smoke inhalation, and even death. Hookah users are actually exposed to more smoke than cigarette smokers due to their longer smoking sessions, which can last up to an hour in many cases. In fact, hookah users consume nearly 200 times the smoke compared to just one cigarette. The CDC has reported that hookah smokers are at risk for many of the same cancers and diseases as cigarette smokers. The heated tobacco used contains 69 particular carcinogens that have been linked to tumor production as well as cancers of the lungs, stomach, and kidneys. The tobacco used in hookah, as well as with all tobacco products, contains nicotine. Nicotine is the addictive ingredient in tobacco. According to the data collected by the CDC, smoke from the heated tobacco in hookah contains over 4,000 different chemicals, many of which have been repeatedly proven to clog the pores in one's respiratory system. The water moving through the pipes does not clean or purify the tobacco smoke inhaled. Again, there is no safe way to use hookah or tobacco products. The World Health Organization conducted a study on the health effects of hookah, in which they found supporting evidence that just one hookah session is equivalent to smoking over 100 cigarettes. Researchers explained that the dramatic difference is caused by the excessive amount of puffs that hookah users take during a given session. Now let's look at cigars, another alternative tobacco product. The FDA uses 3 primary classifications for cigars based on their weight. The smallest cigars are known as little cigars. They look very similar to cigarettes and may contain a filter on the end, but these filters have not been scientifically shown to filter out the harmful agents of the cigar smoke. The medium-sized cigars are known as cigarillos. These come in various sizes and some come with plastic or wood tips. The largest is the most common cigar. These are the ones that are often associated with celebrations and celebrities. Despite their size, they are all cigars. They all contain tobacco and nicotine, and they all are at least as dangerous and toxic as cigarettes, and users are exposed to harmful toxicants. It is important to know that even though we may think cigars are a healthy alternative to cigarettes, they are equally as dangerous. The only difference between cigars and cigarettes is the size and the wrapper. Cigars are wrapped in tobacco, and cigarettes are wrapped in paper that doesn't contain tobacco. Both cigars and cigarettes contain the addictive ingredient nicotine. Like other alternative tobacco products, the tobacco industry packages their products to appear similar to candy or other sweets. The sweet flavors such as strawberry and vanilla do not make cigars safer. The flavor only masks bitter and harsh smell and taste of cigars. They do not mask the toxic, harmful effects. It is illegal for companies to sell fruity and candy-flavored cigarettes, but it is not illegal for tobacco companies to add these flavors to cigars and other tobacco products. It is also common for the tobacco industry to promote their products as less expensive. This is a tactic to try to persuade people to try these products with the hope that they will want to use them again and again. This tactic also preys on people who do not have a lot of extra money to spend. The tobacco industry has also figured out how to exploit tax laws to sell more cigars. They package their products in unique ways to avoid tax laws in order to reduce the cost of their products and get more people to use them. Smokeless tobacco, which is more commonly known as chewing or spitting tobacco, is another tobacco product. Although not smoked, it does carry its own dangerous and addictive risks. Smokeless tobacco products can deliver more nicotine than cigarettes. One of the most common side effects experienced by smokeless tobacco users is excessive tooth decay. In addition to the tooth decay, the tobacco also causes gums to pull away from the teeth, resulting in permanent gum loss. Although many of the common health effects of smokeless tobacco products attack the mouth, there are more severe risks associated with them as well. Medical professionals have linked many of the chemicals found in chewing tobacco, dip, and snuff with esophageal, mouth, and pancreatic cancer. Smokeless tobacco products come in a variety of forms to promote the use among kids or those who would not normally try them. Some smokeless tobacco products are spitless. Even though it may not smell or taste like tobacco, it still contains nicotine. It is very addictive, harmful, and can cause cancer. So, let's summarize what we've learned today. Hookah products, e-cigarettes, cigars, and smokeless tobacco products contain toxic chemicals, including nicotine. E-cigarette batteries can explode and cause serious injury. Tobacco companies package the products to make them appear healthy and safe. Candy flavors only mask the bitter taste and harmful effects of tobacco products. There is no safe way to use any tobacco products.